Alright, boys, in today's video, very chill video. I'm just gonna explain gear because I've been getting a bunch of comments, more than usual, of people telling me how do you have so much attack on your characters, HP at blah 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 blah, right? So I'm gonna cover gear really quickly. Now, one thing you gotta keep in mind is that when you see my stats on my units in my team, right? They have their link, but even without their link, they're affected by box CC, okay? By my box CC and my constellations, right? If I click this guy here, he has 15,000 attack, okay, with his gear. But when I check here, he has 17,165. That's also with let's unequip these. How do you unequip these? Okay, well, that's cancer. But when I unequip these as well, 16.6k, right? When in reality, he only has 15k. Okay, that's because it's affected by my box CC. So when you see my stats being higher, that's why. My box CC is giving me 2.5 attack, and in my constellations, which are these funny things that no one likes, are giving me 1,245 attack extra as well, right? Lots of stats I'm getting, and there's some substats and everything involved as well, right? There's a bunch more. It's very cancer. I don't like the system. No one does. Even if you're well, you don't like it. But it exists, and I have to mention it, okay? So we can set things clear. But when I click a character here, like I said, this is unaffected. So the 77.528 you can get on any character. Oh, well, all of you can get on Meliodas. Regardless, like, you can be a level 1 account, you can have this, okay? Now what goes into CC as well, which I'll also mention so you don't get too confused, is ult level gives you 400 per ult level. You get 5 increases, so it's 2,000 CC that you're missing out on if you're not 6'6". So mine would be 75.528. And also the outfits, they matter too, right? Most units have a bunch of free-to-play options for outfits, or like ones you can buy with gems at certain times. So I would do that, but that all like comes into play, right? And outfits, you only count 5 out of 5 outfits, right? You can only have 5 equipped, so like these ones aren't giving me stats, right? That'd be insane because there's some characters with like rows and rows and rows of outfits, right? But besides that, it's all in the gear, okay? Obviously, it's all in the gear. Now, let me explain gear stats very quickly, and then we'll go over some other stuff. So first of all, gear, very simple. The top row, okay, it's split into rows, and then both sides actually do something else as well. But stat-wise, they give you the same kind. So the top row will give you attack, and the rows will give you attack related stats that you can roll into, okay? So you can see the basic stat. I'm on JP, but just trust me, this is attack, and the base roll I have maxed out, which is very important when you farm gear, right? Let's say I farmed attack, I farmed the attack bracelet, okay? This one over here has a really low basic stat. I will not want to level this up, because if I do, I'll have to eventually reroll this, where if I just get one that has a higher basic stat like this one, which is not good but it's higher, I won't have to reroll. Let's pretend this was maxed out, okay, for like video's sake. Then I won't have to waste resources rerolling the stat. So when you actually go about farming the gear and getting the gear, don't level the gear up that doesn't have good basic stats, okay? Minimum, I would say you want to have like around here, like 75-ish% of the way, 80% of the way like filled. Otherwise, just salvage it. There's no point, right? Because like you're missing out on so many stats if you level this up, because obviously as you level them up, they get more stats, right? So this one's maxed out and it's 5 stars. So this one gives me a lot more, 439 attack. This one gives me 1,100, okay, obviously. But if this was 5 stars as well, with that low roll, it'd be like 200 less, or like, yeah, I mean almost 200 less, yeah. And that matters in the long run because it gets affected by all sorts of percentages, okay? So when you farm gear, which we'll talk over in a second as well, you want to only keep the ones that have good base rolls, okay? That's very important. Actually, you couldn't see this, but the stats difference, it's there, okay? If I did this, you could see it though, right? Yeah, okay, that's fine then. I guess I'll keep myself here, why not? Hopefully I remember to move myself if something else is on the screen on the side. But this top row will give you attack, okay? And this middle row, right, the necklace and the earring, they'll give you defense. And the bottom row will give you HP. It's just like here, it's attack, defense, HP. It's the same thing, okay? Same order. Okay, so now you get this, if you didn't know this before. Now you get this. There's another difference. Left and right side also has a difference. So the left side gives you almost double the stats of the right side. okay, even though it provides the same ones. So the 15% attack is the same on these two, okay? There's no difference in this. The rolls do the same thing on both sides. But the actual basic stat, although being attack on both of these, right, we said top row gives you attack, this one gives me 1640. This one gives me 839. So it's roughly double. Not really double, but you get the point, right? It's almost double. And both their basic stats are maxed out. This is a Meliodas set, like you have to have this one maxed out. Actually, I'm missing one. Holy shit. But you get the point, right? So the left side gives you more stats. But the thing is, ultimately, I have a more in-depth gear guide where I tell you can have like common on the right side and everything, because the stat difference isn't that insane. Whereas on the right side, if I equip a common one, I lose everything. So you can have UR on the left and like common on the right, or like SSR and everything. But regardless, that's in the other video. Go watch my other guides too. Don't you have to watch this one? This one is like a very simple one, just explaining the basics again. So left side more stats than right sides, but they're still in the same row, so they give you the same. Now, how do you want to roll your gear? I get this question a million times. 99.9% of the time, okay, if you're someone that has to ask, then it's always going to be just the basic stats, okay? Later on, for some endgame stuff like Heroes Arena and some demonic beasts, there's some setups where you want to have different rolls. But for those, you usually use rare or common gear, which to reroll the stats on this one, let's go on one. Okay, to reroll the stats on rare or common gear, it only costs gold. You don't need to use Anvils, you can use gold. So they're practically free perfect rolls for like that stat, which is good enough for that content, okay? So we don't have to worry about this. Okay, your SSR and your UR gear, it's always going to be basic stats, okay? Which, again, is attack, defense, HP. So you want to get as high of attack rolls, all of them, all attack on your bracelet and your ring. And then you want to get defense on your necklace and your earrings, and then same your belt and your ring. You want HP on them, right? There's other stats you can get, right? Which are going to be the other ones in that category. So I'm like, let's go into the attack one. That one's the easiest to explain. Well, they're all easy to explain, to be fair. But I can get attack, I can get pierce rate, I can get crit chance, crit damage, and that's it actually, right? By attack is obviously the most valuable one for 99.9999% of characters. So we just roll into attack. Now you don't have to go to 3%, right? There's hammers and hammers that can like buff up your percent. But when you roll gear, SSR gear, the very lowest I would go is 2.5%. I go 2.8 actually. I don't like going 2.7. I know people love 2.7, but with 2.8, 2.8 is better if you have hammers. 2.7 is better if you have, well, 2.8 is better if you have more anvils, less hammers. 2.7 is better if you have low anvils and also low hammers, because in that way you're fucked anyway. So just get to 2.7%, it's fine. But 2.5% at the lowest. If you're using anvils to roll, 2.5%. Also, never use diamonds to roll. It's a scam. I don't think I have to explain this. Okay, no matter how desperate you are, it's fine. Don't use your diamonds. Okay. Now anvils, you mainly get a key bi-weekly, it's bi-weekly, not bi-monthly, right? What I mean, every 2 weeks. Okay, you get a key that you can use in the SP dungeon stage, which I've also made a video on, where you go here. I've got 9 hourglasses, right? That's a key, by the way. And you go here, you scroll down, this one, it uses the anvils, you click this one, you get about 700-ish every time, because it's capped now, which is cringe. But you get like 700-ish every time. And then you can also buy them with your fest coins, if you have an overabundance of them, which I've been doing. Right, if you have too many fest coins, you can just buy one every week as well, so you can get extra ones. But that's how you get anvils. That's really the only way you get anvils, okay? You can get them with the PvP shop, but it's horrendous. Guild shop, horrendous. Don't even bother. Now hammers are a bit more difficult to get, right? Both hammers and engraving stones to UR gear someone you get from training cave, a training dungeon, which you get a free run on, and you also can use these silly little keys they give you that no one wants on this. Now with this one, like if I explain it thoroughly, this would be a 1-hour video. I might make a training dungeon guide in the future, but practically this just requires you to have at least a good amount of characters leveled up in your box. And you go in there, if you do the missions, which there's setups for, you can watch video, you can look up other guides for this. Once you get the guides done for this, the missions, you just have to go in there with 144 KCC and you can skip ticket it, all right? And it's you're completely fine. You can move on with your day, right? And in this one, we do also get anvils, but not like a amount that matters. But you get hammers, which you can also get from the gold fights. And then you also get engraving stones, which are important to engrave your gear. Which the way that one works is also very simple. Once it's SSR gear, or any gear to be fair, but you really only want to use for SSR gear. And it's +5 and it's 5-star. And it's rolled well. You like it the way it is. Well, to be fair, you can change it after, but you have some good gear. You want to give a character UR gear. Okay, the way it works is it's bound to a character. Okay, so when I make a good gear set and I give it to Meliodas, I bind it to Meliodas. It's going to be UR for him, but it's going to be SSR for other characters, even though it's going to show up as UR. And the way you see if it works is if I go on Meliodas on his UR gear, this over here glows. This means this is the right character. It also should say like Meliodas bracelet over here. Okay, if I give him like GALAND's gear, right, this thing isn't active, and then this is the same as the SSR gear. Okay, this one just has a better base roll. Okay, this one's maxed out and this one is not. Oh, actually this is. Yeah, fair enough. But like it practically is the same. Oh, this one isn't +5. That's why. Right, if I got this one to +5, let's do this for the video's sake. Yeah, it's the same, right? It's the same stat. It's SSR in disguise if it's not on the right character, which is why you want to have it on the right character. Okay, you engrave it to a character. Now the way this works is it's not, I don't engrave it to this Meli, I don't engrave it to God Meli, I engrave it to Meliodas in general. So if I go on this, you can pick one piece of gear. Oh, actually, well, let's start the gear, right? It's like, okay, I just leveled this one up, 12% attack, this is fire. And then you go on the character and you're like, okay, I have 10 different Meliodases that I always use. So having UR gear for them, because I keep using them and it's a character that's very reoccurring, he's the main character, bro. I want UR gear for him, right? So you can go, you click Meliodas, and it gives you the UR gear for Meliodas. It shows you Lost Vein here, but it gives you the gear for every single Meliodas. So if I go to, let's go to this setting, and let's go to sins. Every single, this Meli, this Meli, this Meli, this Meli, this Meli, these Melis, these Melis, this Meli, this Meli, all of them can use the UR gear, right? This guy, I can give him the UR gear I just have on this guy, and it's active because it's bound to Meliodas. Okay, there's some weird ones like Esterosa, Mael are in the same character, Demon King Zaldris and Zaldris are in the same character, right? But like those I make sense, but like you'll have to just double check if they exist and everything. But King, like Small King, Fat King, Chat King, all the same person. Lowly Merlin, same thing, right? Halley Merlin, all the same character. So if you give UR gear to one of them, they all have it, and you can use it on all of them, and it's very good. Okay, now how do you get gear? Also very quickly, on equipment you have these different tabs. Now you will have to max out the town's affinity if you haven't done that for some reason, by doing all the like side quests in that area. And then once it's maxed, you get 30 gems, by the way, and then also you get access to this quest. Now this quest is sort of useless nowadays. It used to be pretty good, but nowadays it's pretty useless because it takes you to the place, right? Oh, I accepted it and I can't, well, whatever. You have to farm the place that you get the equipment on, so it's just like a win-win, right? It's like a guarantee. It's like a pity, pretty much. You do 8 runs and you get it guaranteed because the base rate is 3%. It's 3%. So you have to run this like a couple times to get one of these. And then, like I said, when you farm these, you don't just want to take the first one you get. You want to wait until you get one that has a good base stack, basic stat rolled already, so you don't have to waste resources in that. And the thing is that quest guarantees you 1 extra, but for the most part, you're just gonna skip ticket this until you get the one that you want. And then also we have the gear gacha, which is located in the summon screen now, by the way, right? Where you can sort after like the piece you want to, right? You'd be like, okay, I want SSR only. And I only want like defense gear, whatever, and I only want the bracelet. Okay, and then you roll, and then everything else gets dismantled. You check your gear and you're like, okay, I like this piece, and then you boom, you've got the piece you want. You can also get anvils and hammers from this thing, by the way. Right, so if you have like infinite gold saved up, actually no, didn't they? Hold on, bro. Didn't they remove the hammers? I'm actually... The hammer thing was always like a big deal because it was like we had a double rate event and then people abused it, so they stopped doing it. Now I think we can still get hammers, just a shit rate. Yeah, and Anvils right there, 5%, and then you get one, which, you know, if you do multi, you'll get some every now and then. And then the hammer, yeah, hammer, same thing. Yeah, you can get one as well. Was 0.6% though, right? And the crystals too. But if you salvage here, you have enough crystals anyway. But if you have like 500 million gold saved up, you can spend like 200, 300 million on this, and you'll get a good amount of everything you need. But yeah, this is the main way people, I think, just get gear. Now, same with like the chests we have as well, which are they still... Oh wait, are they in the gear gacha too now? Do you have to like, how would you do it? Oh well, I guess they put them all into keys now. Yeah, right, never mind. Yeah, so that's why I have 1,200 keys. I need to run through these, but that takes ages. So yeah, that's pretty much how you get gear. Okay, is this thing for the most part nowadays, or you skip take it the stage you want from a specific one. You can go to the village as well. So let's say you want any defense piece, right? Any defense set piece. You can just go to the actual village. So I can just go to, let me just go to this. I go to this chapter. If I go to the village, you can buy them there too for like 800k gold or more. It's stupid. It's very silly, but we'll do it. We'll check on the video. And I think that is all I have to cover. Forget. There's one thing I just thought of. Oh yeah, wow. Well, wait, hold on. Where's the bruh? Why is that guy running like that? Yoink. All right. How much is it? Yeah, it's like almost 800k for one piece. It's just not worth it. And you can only buy one. You have to wait a day. But yeah, that's it. The one thing, extra thing, because people might get this confused too. The position of your gear doesn't matter. Okay, for convenience sake, what people do is, because for some content again you'll have to switch out some pieces. What they'll do is they'll have the middle pieces be the other ones. Okay, now I'll tell you, it doesn't really matter, right? As long as you keep it consistent. But the thing is, if you want to switch out between every character, like if you have like, right, I have these, right? Because this was the old set. This is what people used to do. It's just put the offset pieces. So attack set is 4 pieces, HP set is 4 pieces. It says it down here. But the defense one is 2 piece, right? Which is why we run defense. And there's other 2 piece ones, like this crit resistance one is 2 piece, crit damage one is 2 piece, right? So that's why people combine either attack with crit, attack with defense, attack with crit resistance, HP with defense, HP with crit resistance, HP with crit damage. Most commonly attack and crit damage for the offensive set, and HP and defense for the defensive set. But you know that if you just do HP defense and attack defense, and you have the attack pieces be the same as the HP ones, you're good to go. Okay, you're fine. Okay, because then they'll align the same. So no matter what other 2 pieces you have, you can always just switch them out. Okay, I hope that makes sense. But regardless, what I was gonna say is, just for convenience sake, keep it the same on every single character. Okay, so I don't have this obviously, but I just have so many gear sets. Right, people do the bottom row for the same one, they do the middle row for the same one, whatever. Middle row is the most common one. Okay, defense is the worst set in the game, and just having being able to switch these out for like a different set, like this is crit defense, okay, with crit defense rolls. Okay, imagine, let's go on a different set. Hold on, let's go on the set where I actually did the thing I'm telling you. Okay, there. Okay, these are off piece. Okay, these are not even from him. Okay, so this guy I could give crit defense here, and then crit defense here, and that's what people do. Okay, you keep the 4 piece, the one that's the main one, you keep it, and then the other ones you'll switch out. But that's whatever, that's for the future anyway. But when you make gear, just make sure you're consistent with your placement. Okay, honestly, just do the middle pieces, so you'll never have to stress, even though it doesn't matter. But I hate how some people, they talk about like it matters. It doesn't really matter. They say it makes sense. It doesn't make sense. It's just, we've done it this way, so we do it this way. The one that makes the most sense is literally these 2. Doing these 2 makes the most sense technically, because it's the right side and it's the ones that are easily replaceable. Like these 2 or these 2. That's the one that makes the most sense technically. But let's do the middle pieces, because most guides you'll see will make you switch out the middle pieces for like crit defense, crit resistance, for like this like end game content stuff. But for PvP general use, it's always going to be 4 piece HP or attack, depending on what type of like content you do, and like the CC you want and everything, and what type of character they are. If they're DPS, probably want attack. If they're not a DPS, probably HP. If you want to go first, probably HP, because HP gives you more CC. Which I cover in my other guide, where I actually talk about the CC formula, which I can tell you right like very quickly. It's 75%. No, it's all of your attack goes into your CC. 75% or like 80% of your defense, and 20% of your HP. The thing is, 20% of your HP is so much higher than any other stat you have anyway, because HP is such a big stat. So investing into HP gives you the most CC. Okay, there you go. It rhymes, so it's true. So that's it. I think I covered everything. If you have any questions, I mean, I don't mind. I'll answer the comments. Other people will answer the comments as well. I'm sure if you know stuff, you can help other people out in the comments. But I hope this was helpful. This answered most of your questions. You just want to have good rolls. You want to have outfits. You want to have the right pieces. You want to have a high basic stat on them when you roll them, right? Don't waste your resources by farming shit ones. But that's really all there is to it. Good job. This was way longer than it should be.